Yes. Got to bring out the pom-poms. I use pom-poms wherever I go because I'm always cheering for people. You want to be around people who are willing to cheer you on instead of tear you down. So we should be each other's cheerleaders. And then we should cheer for ourselves. When nobody else will, cheer for yourselves. Because that's an unstoppable mindset. That's what we do. Whoop, whoop. Happy birthday, dear Tammy. Again, you're amazing. And you're spending your time here with us on your birthday. That's just a testament of who you are. Before I get started, on your tables, there's instructions. It's a puzzle art. And I didn't explain this in the very beginning because I was really tight on time. Each person at your table, please take a puzzle piece, and there's also colored markers on your table. And I want you to choose a word, and there's instructions of what makes you unstoppable. Like, for me, it could be humor. For you, it could be organization, or it could be anything. Yeah, your gifting, what makes you unstoppable? Write that word on there, but then also decorate it. You could color it, stars, whatever it is, and then take a picture of your individual puzzle piece, and then join the puzzle pieces together with the ones of everybody at your table, and then take a picture of that completed puzzle. So there's 9 pieces in that puzzle. If you are only 2 people at the table, take several of them. But this is an opportunity for us to blend them all together and make a mosaic of words that what makes us unstoppable, what makes you unstoppable. So be creative, okay? The food was amazing. Hopefully you got your bellies full. Woohoo! And you got some raffles. Hopefully you met with the vendors, got their initials, and you put your name on it, and you fold it up, and you put it in the blue bucket. That's how you will qualify for the grand prize drawing. All right, without further ado, I'm excited. So Mr. Lenny Lewis, I had him speak a couple years ago at the Unstoppable You Conference in Southern Maryland. But due to scheduling conflicts, he had to pre-record his presentation for us. But now I got him here in person. And let me tell you a little bit. Lenny is an award-winning trainer and motivational speaker. Matter of fact, we both belong to Toastmasters International. And if you're not familiar with that organization, it really helps you improve your public speaking. Okay, so I would encourage anyone to connect with Toastmasters. Lenny belongs to a different club, but we are representing Talk of the Town. That's the one I go to. But Lenny is an award-winning trainer, motivational speaker who loves to help people succeed. His extensive background and accomplishments include youth mentor, nonprofit founder, electrical contractor, union trainer, adjunct professor, online magazine writer, FM radio host, and much, much more. I'm just worn out just saying that paragraph. Lenny is absolutely extraordinary, and I would like for you to just put your hands together, give him your undivided attention, and he's going to pour into you. The title of his presentation is Let Go and Push, and that's an acronym, P-U-S-H, Let Go and Push, Mr. Lenny Lewis.
Lift your hands in this room, fill the house with glory if you know he's an unstoppable God. Nothing can stop him. Pain can't stop him. Sickness can't stop him.
Miss Foxworthy, I have to give you so many thanks. We've known each other for quite a few years, met through Toastmasters, and always held that connection, so I'm honored to be here today, actually. So today's is going to be a little different. I came here prepared for one thing, but I had to change it up. I came here, there's an energy in this room that kind of made me kind of start jotting down notes, taking down things. So today's going to be a message today. It's a message anyway, but it's going to be a little different. Anybody got something to write with? Pen and paper? Yeah. One thing I learned through my journey is always have pen and paper whenever you go to any kind of event, training, speaking event, Because you just might catch what we call a nugget. And you write that nugget down. And as a teacher, I always tell my students, take notes because your notes become study guides later on. So I'm going to go with some stuff that really pulled out of me today, So I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I live in Upper Marlboro now. I love everything that I do. And, anytime I get a chance to speak in front of people, I get excited because 25 years ago, I was not excited. You couldn't give me a blank check and said, put whatever you want to speak in front of people. Now, today, fast forward, I'm on stages. But how did that happen? We talked about unstoppable you. Everyone here feels that way. I want to talk about what happens when you leave this room. What happens tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? Because a lot of times we go to events, get pumped up, and then we go home and life just greets you at the door and say, I'm back, welcome back, right? The bills, life, challenges, right? It's like you're going right back to normal again. So how do we maintain that feeling, unstoppable feeling, right? How do we maintain that? Keep that. Because we know life's going to happen, right? Challenges are going to happen. About 37 years ago, for me, a major event took place. It was July 5th, so July 4th in New York, fireworks, things like that, had some fun. July 5th, a normal, typical day. But I came home July 5th that evening and did what I always do, ran upstairs, told my mother about my day. My father wasn't home at the time. But this time was different. I went upstairs, and she was in her regular spot on the bed, just kind of, chilling, but she was in a kind of a weird position that I didn't recognize. So I called her name again, she didn't answer. So I peeked inside the room, and I forgot how old I was, but I was really young. So I didn't understand. So I ran downstairs to my grandmother and found out that she had a massive heart attack. I was 17 years old. That's the last time, the day before, that morning was the last time I spoke a word with my mother. So I don't know if anybody here has lost a parent. It's a different type of impact, right? That doesn't go away, right? You cope, you deal with it, life has to go on. It's still a different type of feeling. So what pulled out of me today, for those who are feeling unstoppable today, when you leave home, you're wondering, how can I keep that up? See, a lot of times we pay for events, we go to events, and for some, it's just entertainment. Right? Entertainment means you're watching it, you're having a great time, you're pumped up, you go home, you may talk about it, but then tomorrow, what do? I want to give you a couple of things that helped me through a lot, even today. When we talk about being unstoppable and being able to do things that most people would have challenges with, I'm going to say belief. Let's start with belief. Write that word down, belief. And put all these words in capital letters, very important. When this happened to me those years ago, I didn't know how or what I would do from July 5th on. Had no clue. I had just graduated high school. So I'm like, okay, what do I do now? But I had to push forward. I had some assistance, family, of course, but again, I'm a grown person, grandchildren. The feeling's still there, right? The feeling's still there. But whatever it is you want to accomplish, you have to believe. We heard from Imani, we heard from Amanda, we heard from Keisha. If they didn't have belief, they wouldn't be up here today. Anybody agree with that? Belief has to be number one. So write that down, belief. The second thing that pulled out of me, and these are things I wrote down as I was sitting in that chair. Show up for yourself. A lot of times, I'll break down what that means. Show up for yourself. A lot of times, as we go through challenges, things are going to happen. Nothing works but the work. What do I mean by that? Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you're going for, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you have to show up for yourself. A lot of people sit there and think and dream about things. I believe that a dream without a goal is just simply a dream. If you don't put the work to it, guess what? It's not going to happen. The only time I recognize or remember seeing success before work is in the dictionary, right? At no other point you're going to see success before work. So you got to show up for yourself and do that work, whatever it takes. That's another thing. Whatever it takes for you to get where you need to be, you got to do it. I'm an entrepreneur, and I talk to other entrepreneurs all the time. There's a team that I lead as well. And if I just broke down all the excuses I heard why people can't be successful or why they can't do this, we'd have a comic show here today. Those same people go to work every single day. So we know what commitment looks like. Any parents in the room? We know what commitment looks like, right? We know what it takes. I'm sure anybody would agree. Any child you have, if you got a call that your child was sick, you could be at work, you're going to say, listen, I'll be back, I got to go. Right? You're not putting in for time because your child's sick. So that's the kind of energy we need to put into ourselves. And I see it all the time. So many people, they give you the excuses. Oh, I can't do that because I say, okay, did you go to work this morning? Yeah, okay, great. You made it to work. So we know what commitment looks like. Another major thing, your self-talk. Some of us are having toxic conversations with ourselves. Toxic. What do I mean by that? What are you telling yourself? We tell our children, never say you can't. Anybody said to your children? Or you've been told that? Never say you can't. You don't never give up. Guess what the parents do? Say they can't. Give up. But we'll tell our children opposite. The talk you have with yourself is so powerful, people don't even understand. They say the power's in the words, right? Powers are in words. And it is what you say to yourself as well. They say talk to people or treat people the way you want to be treated, right? Talk to yourself the way you want to be talked to. The moment you say I can't, the moment you say I'm broke, the moment you say this, and guess what? You're absolutely right. And there's nothing that anyone can do, right? I'm not going to fight someone for their survival if they're always talking about how bad they're doing. So change that self-talk. Affirmations every single day, multiple times a day. And I know it's tough, don't get me wrong. It's tough to see things chippy and positive, right, when you can't see positive. When you don't feel positive, it's hard. It's tough. But that's why there's such a percentage of people, small percentage of people that make it because they push through it. It's tough. As I said before, success before work only takes place where? In the dictionary. You got to do the work. It's going to be tough. But the feeling you get after it's done. Anybody ever accomplished something? I know Imani, did anybody ever accomplish something where you put in some serious work and when it was over, you just dropped to the floor and said, man, anybody? How did that feel? Isn't it contagious? You want to do something else after that, right? And you want to do something else. Keep that same energy. We've heard that term, right? Keep that same energy. Because the moment you start having those conversations, the moment things don't go too good, guess what? You're swirling back. If we were all watching TV right now, you went to a channel and you didn't like what you saw, what would you do? You change the channel, right? So as those thoughts creep in your head, change the channel, right? You have total control. Total control. Can we say total control? You have total control, as hard as it is. And I commend everyone who's had a challenge and pushed through it. Some people are still going through some things. Today, I felt the energy in this room that I really can't explain. But I changed what I had, because I never bring a book when I speak. Today I had to bring this book. I'm jotting down notes, I'm feeling this, I'm hearing this, so I had to put this down. Write this down too. Delayed doesn't mean denied. Write that down. These are things I'm just sitting down writing. As people talk, I'm just sitting down writing. Delayed doesn't mean denied. It just means keep working. Push, persist until something happens. That's what's important. Now, another important thing, and I say this in business, compete but don't compare. Write that down, please. Compete but don't compare. I'm me, you. I didn't have a book at 25 like Imani. I didn't have a book. I was still working on my book. We may compete now, because I think I'm going to get my book out before your second book. Right? But you compete, right? But don't never compare. right? We all have our own individual, unique journey. All of us. I can inspire you, I can motivate you, I can do all this kind of things, all these type of things. But I'm concerned with when you leave that door, that you maintain what you're getting from here today, that you keep what you're getting here today. Something else pulled out. A couple of things pulled out. Personal development, write that down, personal development. And I train on this in business. We got speech development, child development, all type of developments, right? Personal development. Put that on your list. Personal development is a must. When you think about personal development, libraries have sections on it. Bookstores have sections on it. Some companies have a budget for it. That tells you how important it is, right? Personal development. And it's a daily job. It's not once a week, once a month. It's a daily job, personal development. How do we personally develop ourselves? One is reading. I know I sound like a teacher today. That's what I'm feeling like today. Write that down, reading. You got to read every day, at least 30 minutes. You don't have to. I'm not your parent, but I'm just letting you know. This helps toward personal development. Reading. But read something that's going to actually feed you. Right? A lot of things we read don't feed us. You think it doesn't affect you by watching certain shows. It does. Yeah, you can cut TV off, yeah. Anybody heard of that subconscious mind? Anybody heard of that? That never sleeps. When you sleep, it doesn't sleep. That thing that doesn't know the difference between the truth or fake. That doesn't know the difference between a joke and reality. Anybody heard that before? What you feed that, guess what? You're going to find the results. You're going to see the results. The results will manifest. It goes, we have other minds too, right? We're going to keep it right there. So reading is a must. You have to pour into yourself. But guess what? Those parents in the room, grandparents, can you pour into someone else's cup if your cup is empty? It's impossible. As a parent, grandparent, whatever role you have, teacher, you have a responsibility. I'm so passionate about young people because I see on a daily basis, they look like, I tell you, they look like, I've met some 14-year-olds like grown men, beard and everything. When you talk to them, they're still a kid. They got that look, they got that rugged look. Talk to them. They're still children. I've had conversations like, man, but guess why they feel that way? No one's reaching out. No one's having those conversations with these kids, right? It just so happens that I can. That's my passion. But it's so important that we make sure our cup is full in a way that we're going to feed some people. You know, a smile can change someone's day. This is a good morning. We don't speak in New York. Like when I came here, I was like, y'all say good morning down here? We don't do that in New York. We're not used to that in New York. So here it's like, wow, that's the country. A smile could change someone's day. A good morning could change someone's entire day. We need to do more of that. So as you leave here today, the things you wrote down today, keep that right in front of you. I remember when I was going for my goals, my mentor told me, just hang it up, just post it everywhere. I had it in my bathroom, I had it in my refrigerator, I just had it everywhere. He said, every time you turn around, I want you to see that goal. No matter where you are, I want you to see that goal. And the people that I mentor, I tell them the exact same thing. You know why you need to do that? Because life is gonna jump in front of you. Obstacles are gonna happen. But it's not about those obstacles, it's how you deal with the obstacles. You can either respond or react. You know those are two different words, right? You can respond or you can react. Responding takes thought. Right? You gotta sit back for a second. Reacting is on impulse. Right? That's where bad things can happen, when you react. But you have to respond. This stuck out as well, big time. Never quit. I know it's a cliche, right? Never quit. But no, seriously, never quit. Can we write that down? Capital letters. Never quit. I remember almost quitting on a whole lot of things for me personally. And there's so many things that I would never experience today had I quit. You don't know how close you are to that goal. It could be right there, but you stop just short of that goal. So never quit, especially if you have children in the room. We have no business as parents even thinking about quitting, right? And then we question why our kids quit. We question why our kids say they can't. They're following us. So never quit. I don't care what you're doing, what it is, never quit, because what happens is when you get to tell your story, guess what? Someone is going to be connected to your story. I've read stories about lives being changed, like people that were close to committing suicide, but because they heard this person speak, they changed their mind. They thought it over, right? They didn't react, they responded. So today, again, I'm here as a messenger today. I had a whole thing, Ms. Foxworthy. I had a whole thing today. But when I got here, it just was different. The energy in the room was just totally different today. And I'm always taking notes, but it was different today. So fast forward now, I mentor children. I teach public speaking. Believe that. I would have never did public speaking. I can't even tell you how it happened, but I teach public speaking to adults and children, something I could never do back, way back when. I have a passion for helping people, just like Ms. Foxworthy said. Passion for Progress is an organization that just really, supplies resources for people. I'm in the electrical field. That's what I do, and I also teach. So that whole construction industry, I have a connection with, right? And I know what it can do for anybody. It doesn't matter. I tell my class all the time, I can go to Alaska tomorrow and wire up a house. Right? There's nothing that beats a trade. So I really push to these young people, whatever they want to do, to the trade. When I was on the radio in New York, I just went for it. I wanted to do it. Had a great time. When I wrote for the magazine, I just wanted to do it. Anything that you want to do, go for it. There's only one way to find out if you're going to like it, by doing it. And another thing, stop taking other people's opinion. A lot of us are lost, broke in because of other people's opinion. If people learn to take people's opinion as an opinion, we'd have more, what I believe, more successful people. I've had people in the entrepreneur industry tell me that people have told them, don't do that. It's not going to work. These are folks that's never did it. But they can tell you what's best for you, right? I was told by my mentor, if you're not going to change bank accounts or situations with them, they're just talking. Too many opinions from other people are ruining lives. Ruining lives. So I encourage you all, everything you wrote today, use those words, pass them on to other people. But definitely, don't give up on your dreams. We all say we feel unstoppable, right? When you leave here, make sure you keep that feeling. You got to push, right? But there's also some things you got to give up. Anybody ready to give up anything? I ain't see many hands. See, that's what it is. If you say, who wants to be successful, all the hands go up. Who wants to work? Who wants to give up something? Got to give up some things. Sacrifice is the key to success. Why do you think there's such a small percentage of people who are super successful? They give up some things. There's no testimony without a test. Do you agree? You have to give something up. I got into the habit of reading stories of like CEOs and things like that, just to see what their story, how their story went. You'd be surprised of some stories, very surprised. See, we see the glam, we see all that, right? We see the glory. You need to read the story. The glory looks good, right? Shiny on TV. Read some of those stories of your famous, designers or famous, whatever you like. Read the story. That's where you're going to go, oh, that's how she got there. That's how he got there. We have to do the same thing. You have to let go of some things. I had to let go of some people. Who's ready for that? I don't expect many hands. Somebody get rid of people. Toxic, they're doing nothing. They're either building you up or tearing you down. There's only two people in our lives, that's it. They're building you up or tearing you down. There's no middle. Right, on Sunday, there's no middle. It's one or the other. Hang around those who are just building you up, building you up. But I'll tell you something else. As soon as you start to change your mindset, personal development, you're going to be kryptonite to some people. They're going to just move away. You're going to think you did something. You ain't doing nothing. You're doing personal development. The ones who are not supposed to be around you, trust me, they will disappear. But it hurts when it's somebody personal. It hurts. But guess what? Got to get some things up. Every day, I always speak about the things and those who are not any good for me. Keep them away. You will become kryptonite. Trust me. When you change your mindset, when you change how you do things, when you change how you talk. What's wrong with you? Simply because you said something positive. So let that happen. Let go and push. Two things that's so necessary just to move forward. And one last thing, you know, enlisting a mentor is life-changing. To have that person that you can just call on, right? But a mentor, a real mentor is going to be somebody that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Because we have some mentors, nah, I'm tough. I've had people mad at me, but I'm still their mentor. I tell them, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes, anybody heard that the truth hurts? Is that a true statement? The truth hurts. But you got to be able to accept it. Get you a mentor, work on yourself every single day. Don't take a day. If you work every day, don't take a day off for yourself. We work 7 days a week, but work on ourselves maybe once or twice a week. Keep that same energy to yourself. Work every day. Put it on your schedule. Like you go to work 9 to 5, put it on yourself. I'm doing myself from 5 to 9 or whatever it is. Put yourself on a schedule. And then put the work in. And you will definitely see results. For this conference, I'm in the book there. You can scan my QR code and, my calendar will come up. This is what I love to do, right? I love doing coaching sessions. If there's any way I can help you or point you, we should be doing that anyway, right? What are you holding it back for? What are you holding it for? You're going to hold it in and do what? So I'm definitely open to give anybody, any connections, resources, whatever it is. I may know somebody who knows somebody. That's what's supposed to be happening, right? So if I can help in any way, definitely let me know. I thank you so much, Ms. Foxworthy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. And just never forget, man, you are just valuable beyond belief. But you have to know that first. Thank you. I done changed my speech. Thank you so much.
Oh, my goodness.